Galatians 5:4 says, Christ is become of no effect unto you, whoever of you are justified by the law, you are fallen from grace. Now some take this to mean a believer can lose their salvation, but there are a few problems with this interpretation. In Galatians, works of the law are not just physical circumcision or ceremonial laws. Paul defines the law more broadly, even in that same chapter, as loving your neighbor, which other sections of Paul's letters clarify includes commandments like not stealing, not coveting, not committing adultery, and so forth. So if salvation could come by keeping any part of the law, you'd be burdened to keep all of it. That's what 5:3 says. Ironically, those that propose you can lose salvation by sinning grievously are proposing the exact same law-based Galatian error that Paul condemns throughout this book. Thus, this verse cannot be teaching what they propose, since Paul is using 5:4 to refute that very point, that if they're justified by the law, they're fallen from grace. So what is the actual interpretation? Well, there are two plausible interpretations here. I lean more towards the first one, which is a free grace interpretation, that it's actually impossible to be justified by the law, as Galatians 3:11 and Romans 3:21 explicitly state, no flesh shall be justified by the law. So what Paul's trying to do with this phrase is show the already saved, already justified Galatians the absurdity of mixing law and grace. He's not saying that they are justified by the law and therefore they're fallen from grace. The second interpretation takes fallen from grace as experiential. It's a figurative phrase that could mean they've fallen from understanding God's grace. Fallen from understanding His gospel of grace, as Galatians 1:6 notes, into legalism. It doesn't mean they're losing the grace itself. So the phrase can work both ways, right? Although the latter way is not harmonious with the issues I presented earlier. So they're fallen from understanding God's grace, His gospel, not necessarily from possessing the grace itself. It's a flexible phrase. Now, if falling from grace meant losing salvation, why does Paul still call them children of God, heirs of God, and spirit indwelt in the very same letter? There's no shift in audience in this letter, and letters are only addressed to whom they are addressed, even if others pick up the letter and read it. Paul also remarks on their enmity just a few verses after calling them sons of God. So obviously he's not switching between an audience. He says, you're saved, you're unsaved, you're saved, you're unsaved. So the gospel is free. Romans 3:24 says you're justified freely by His grace. Don't trade grace for the law. Don't commit the same Galatian error. Stand fast in the liberty that you have in Christ.